Welcome to the Level Up Report, where this week we're going to talk about Activision Blizzard, China censoring public opinion. So there was a pretty recent thing of a Hearthstone pro streamer, competitor, who voiced his opinion about the Hong Kong protests. And so Activision, or Blizzard, promptly got him banned from the tournament for the first response and had his prize money. He didn't get any of it. And they also fired the two announcers or the commentators. So they got a lot of flack and negative press about it. So they've released a statement and they've reduced both the casters and the pro streamer their ban time to 6 months. And I think they gave back the prize money. I'm not too sure on that. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that, but I want to also link to how politics and doing business in other countries can seriously affect just game companies or companies in general, like their opinions or their beliefs and values. So I want to hear what you thought about this, Kuma, because I want to talk about some different companies that Tencent, which is a Chinese company that owns a lot of shares into different video game companies, how they could affect those companies' opinions and maybe core values.
Well, right. Well, one thing we're already seeing the effects of how money talks. So right now, China have a lot of money into American companies, and it is definitely influence the way they approach things. And at this point, they kind of censoring our speech, you know. And at this point, like people can't really say what they want to say without having some repercussion from either the the parent company or because they're scared of losing money, scared of losing business in China because business in China, like they have so many players
There's a
and they want.
massive potential for a lot of business in China,
And a lot of
especially
people.
mobile.
Yeah, and like Tencent has a good big mobile I don't know, mobile like shares. And
Yeah,
like most of the Chinese people in China play like mobile games.
yeah, we could take a look at the most recent Call of Duty Mobile, and that received millions and millions and millions of downloads, especially from China, especially around the Asia in general.
And to keep the Chinese happy, like the, they have
Right,
to
and
like.
they're also releasing Diablo Immortal, which it's not for us per se, like the West, but it's more for the East because they're big mobile gamers.
And to keep them happy, we have to listen to whatever the Chinese want. And so
Hmm.
like they're just bending over and like doing all this stuff, making the I don't know, making themselves look really bad at home.
I think it shows they're willing to compromise their core beliefs or anything that they have been strongly stating in the past. So now it seems very contradictory because it just seems like, well, money talks, isn't it? Because now they had to see all this business opportunity and potential, and now they're shifting what they used to maybe believed in just for more money. But there is a been a list from Reddit that I'll link below. So this had a list of different companies like Tencent that what they own for shares. So there've been like they own 5% of Activision Blizzard or 40% of Epic Games, 5% of Ubisoft, 100% from Riot Games or the creators of League of Legends, 80% of Grinding Gear Games, who also made Path of Exile. There's 5% from Paradox Interactive. There's about 84% from Supercell or 14% for Glue Mobile, which is just a mobile game company. 29% from Funcom, who also made Secret World, Conan, those kinds of things. 11.5% from Bluehole, which is PUBG. And then they also invested into things that are kind of related to gaming, like Discord or kind of Snapchat, I guess. And they also have stakes into Spotify. And they also invested into companies like Bungie or Digital Extreme or other Chinese companies like Meitu, which also invested into Digital Extremes or into Warframe for almost 20%. So the Chinese have got their hands on, like, fingers into a lot of companies, and this is only the gaming industry.
Yeah. So if you really don't want to support the Chinese, you can't. You have to stop playing a lot of stuff. Stop using a lot of stuff.
Like all the majorly popular companies or franchises, they have their fingers in.
So recently, Phoenix, you stopped your subscription in Craft. How does that feel? You spent so much time in it.
It's a weird thing because I was enjoying WoW Classic for like 2 months now, whenever it came out. So when all this news came, can't say I was surprised, but I wish I could enjoy these games with having like this kind of publicity that I have to keep in mind of, because I don't want to support a company that doesn't put my own interests like first. They think of trying to make a profit, or it's just not the company that I used to know.
Mm.
And it sucks because I just want to enjoy this game. And sure, I could turn a blind eye, say, okay, yeah, they do all this, but I'm still gonna play it. Yeah, I could do that. I don't think that's responsible of me, because if if what I believe in for current events, like with the protests, are not aligning with the company and they're making a bad a bad reputation about it, I just don't think I should support it.
That's fair.
It's tough and it sucks. Like I
Yeah.
said, I wish I didn't have to think about it, because all I wanted to is just enjoy playing games, get my mind off, like politics and just all the stuff that happens in the world. This is just a way to get away from it all. I can't. And it's not just this, but it's also, we've talked about in the past, like microtransactions and all that, gambling. It just, the real world keeps seeping into the gaming world, where it used to be a haven just to escape from everything.
Mm. Well,
So going
until the
back
world
to
gets
China
better.
about this, it's a tough situation. It only keeps getting worse so far.
Well, only could pray that the world gets better.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work, because there's a lot of issues that keep compounding, keep getting worse. We just need to figure out a way to solve it all, or solve as many as we can.
Well, I
But
hope
for
the thing with
the
Hong Kong resolve soon in a positive note.
I hope so too, but I just hope, yeah, it resolves, because I want to play the games. Is there anything else you want to talk about with China, or just how they're dealing with these gaming companies? Anything like that? Thoughts?
Only those that running a company um, that has all these partners with China. I understand where they're coming from. They have to make their money. They have to do what it takes, even though it's not the best of practice. They have to do and feed people, feed themselves. But
Right.
this is what we're gonna do as consumers. That's how we're gonna, show what we're thinking. It is what it is.
Yeah, I get that. It's a sticky situation. Hopefully, it resolves in a good way. I know BlizzCon is coming up soon, so that should be interesting. Because the last BlizzCon was pretty bad.
Yeah, with
This is
Diablo,
only going to get
Immortal.
worse, possibly. Because it could blow up in their face if they try to censor it. Like they don't want a repeat of last year, since they just had an open Q&A session, like open mic. So maybe they have the idea of maybe we should not do that. I think everyone would just catch on and just say you're just stopping free speech, period. We'll see. But that's gonna do it for this week on China and all their shenanigans. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.